1, 2, 3.
Hey, it's Kimberly Smith Austin here, and I want to welcome you back to another episode of the Made to Inspire podcast. I am here this morning, this beautiful day, with my co-host, Misty Kerrigan. Hey, Misty.
Hey, Kimberly. Happy pre-summer or summer, depending on how you look at it. Is it summer when the kids are out? Is it summer after June 21st? Is it summer after Memorial? I guess it depends on which side of the country you live in. When I lived in Arizona, it felt like it was just always summer except for a few weeks in December.
Well, this morning, I will tell you, I had a little trouble because I'm so accustomed to my routine. 6 a.m. workout, 7 a.m. jump in the car, take the kids to school, and then back to do the rest of my protected time. This morning, there was no school. And as a result, I was lost. My routine shifted. And now I need to shift along with it. So I would say for me personally, summer has started. Happy summer, world.
Oh my gosh, I love it. You know what the crazy part is, and I think it's sad and good, but we are kind of programmed to, when we're in school, look forward to summer and fun and play and taking that break. And dangerously, that might still be subconsciously what a lot of us do, even if we own our own business.
Absolutely. I agree. And as I shared with you, when I was running, because I had no driving to school to do, I was thinking about what's going on in the world, and it's summer. Hence, we're here today and we're getting ready to kickstart a 4-week series on summer sizzling, what to do in your business during the summer, how summer impacts your business, your trends, your sales. So we're going to spend time talking about these things to really get you going during the summer. Yeah, I know you probably want to slow down and take a break and do nothing. But here's what I tell my athletes. Here's what I tell my corporate clients. It's okay to slow down. Just don't stop. When you have something in momentum, you don't want to stop it and have to start all over. You want to keep the momentum. Maybe the train slows down a little bit, but the train is still going. So keep it going, and let's get going on that today, Misty.
You said something earlier and it surprised me. You said that sometimes in the summer, people's, so a lot of S words here. Sometimes in the summer, people's exercise slows down. And I thought it was opposite. I'm like, oh, it's summer. There's more light out to be able to be outside and exercise and to do the things and to fit everything in, because when you're off work, it's not pitch black. Like sometimes during our winter at 5:30 when it's like already dark outside. But that's not the case. That nope. Even in your fitness, sometimes summer is that excuse to take a back seat to everything that you've been doing during your routine in that last few quarters. That's interesting.
It is. And I'm always encouraging people to stay the course. It's easier to keep going when you stay the course. When you start, you've got to start all over. And the truth is, the start is what stops most people. So don't stop where you are, friends. Let's slow it down. Let's reprogram it, redefine it, look at it a little bit differently, but don't stop. In fact, Misty, one of the greatest challenges in the wellness industry, not only do people kind of slow down with their exercise, and they also indulge more. Ooh, summer treats and the food and the desserts, and they're at barbecues and they're at the beach. And so then they get completely off course, which is why it's okay to slow down. Don't stop.
So calories count even at the beach?
Of course they do. That's funny. Of course they do. They count all times. But if you keep healthy, if you keep movement, whether you're doing your business, you're doing your life, you're doing your health, just keep that movement going. That slow and steady movement, you will see success. Your business will continue to grow. Your health will continue to grow. And so will your life.
I love that. So when we were talking about strategy, it reminded me of a training I went to. And one of the guys, he owned a video store. And during the summer, people would rent less videos because they were out more, right? It's more like it's in Chicago. It was in Chicago.
Oh, yes.
So in Chicago, I've never lived in Chicago, but since we have an expert in the house here, what I have heard is you just live in your basement for the season and don't want to go out a lot because of the wind and the coldness and stuff. So obviously renting videos is a little more popular in the winter than the summer, because if you're Chicagoan, you want out in the summer because you've been in all winter. So doing all those things. And so watching his money all the time and looking at his different quarters, summer was the worst. So he had a strategy to meet up with the local pizza guy. And he told the pizza guy, he's like, will you do this buy one, get one free video in your pizza boxes? So every pizza that went out. And the guy said, why would I do that? And he said, because I'm going to do buy one, get one free pizza in my every video box that goes out. So they did a collaboration, a strategic collaboration, and summer became his best months.
Yes. That's so good. You know, in fact, I lived in Chicago and I had that vision before this guy. I know I did, because I remember thinking, what if we had a store that did videos and pizza? I never launched it. This was probably 25 years ago, and I still don't see it today, guys. That exists. They coexist. Now, there's partnerships like that, but I think that's something we have to think about during those months. Even though I'm no longer in Chicago, now here in California, the trend is still summer slow. Day, what is it? The lazy days of summer, the dog days of summer, right? And so people go into that relax mode. They go into that release mode. And here's the truth. You need it. You do need the downtime. So I want you to do that, have some downtime, but maybe create a schedule for yourself that allows you to have time to relax, unwind, but time to continue pouring those nuggets into your business. We don't want to lose everything you put out in the spring, winter, and fall because of summer. Don't let summer take you away from your dreams. In fact, allow summer to help you build your strategy, build your systems, work on yourself and your overall sales, which is what we're going to talk about over these next few weeks. Again, strategy, self-mastery, systems, and sales. We know that if you take these summer months to work on these things, when the fall comes, you will be ready. While your clients, your prospects are out lollygagging, having a good time, you're creating yourself a platform that will allow you, when they're ready, boom, you show up. You know that expression, when the student is ready, the teacher appears. Boom, there you will be.
I was at a resort one time, and there's a little family there, and the kids were bodyboarding, like when you stand on the thing, and the parents they had their lawn chairs and they're watching them. But I was looking, and because I love books, we love books, and the books that the couple was reading, all business based. So they were on vacation, and the kids were there and doing the kid thing, like, mom, look. I don't know if your sons outgrow that age yet, you know, when wherever you go, they're like, just watch me, look what I could do. And they were doing that, but you could tell they were on vacation. It was a fancy, amazing resort, and they were reading business books. Something as simple as just kind of regrouping on what's the new trends and what's out there.
That's right. And, you know, and there's nothing wrong with it. In fact, that's my preferred way to relax. I know. We should be doing something else more relaxing. In fact, Misty, it's so funny. You mentioned a book to me a few weeks ago. I had to force myself to get out of a business book and go listen to something lighthearted, something fun. And so that's something you can do this summer. Maybe you've been business-minded, focused, and going forward. Find something light to do, to indulge in and have fun, because it's going to help you be a healthier and happier person. You know what they say, all work and no play is a boring person or something of that nature. I don't agree with it, but you know, you have to have that time.
Oh, I tried. I read that book and cried 5 times, and I was like, I'm going back to my business books where it's less emotional.
I know. So as we prepare for this summer, as it's here, I can't even say prepare, as we work through the summer, as we work smart and hard, without putting maybe all the hours in and all the strategy, all the hours, but putting time for strategy. If you recall, we had a last series, and it was really about working on your business and not in your business. In our opinion, summer is the time to work on your business, looking at your current strategy. What are you doing in your business? Reflecting on your practices. Because sometimes when we get in those high performing seasons, what happens is some of our main systems or strategy goes to the wayside because we're trying to get that sale. We're trying to make sure that everyone's happy. So we lose sight of our purpose, our passion. So during this season, we want to tell you and encourage you, take this time to focus on strategy and start by reflecting. That's number one. Reflect on what you're doing, how you're doing. And again, is it working? Is it where you want to go? Is it to the end point that you see your business, both now and for years to come?
A lot of times, most companies we work with, their bigger companies have plans for 5-10 years, but the smaller companies where entrepreneur or just a mom and pop, their plan usually is just to get through the year and play catch up.
Sure.
So, but they never schedule time to do that, because we all know when you don't schedule it, other things fill your schedule pretty fast. So that reflect time has to be in your schedule or you just won't do it. And there's plenty of books on lots of multimillionaires, lots of business men and women who are successful in their specific calling. And a lot of them reflect back to reflection. There's a lot of things is that they schedule in some weekly where there's just time when they're reflecting on what's working, what's not. And even their goals and outcomes, is that still aligning with who they are? Because as you know, as owning your own business or running a company, you change too. You grow, you adapt, and you learn, and you uncover different passions. But it really is that taking that time to make sure you're still aligned with where it is you want to go and the strategies and steps to get there.
That's it. You know, as you were speaking, one thing that came to mind, Misty, is that so many companies develop their strategies, and when they don't work, they immediately pull the plug. They immediately pull the plug. And that's a concern for me. Although you have to know when to quit. I listened to Brendan Burchard one time, and his podcast was talking about when to quit, because there are times when we have to quit and throw in the towel. But when you haven't given something the true opportunity to really work and you quit, you didn't give yourself a chance. And so I think about that during the summer, as you reflect, thinking about what were some of the things I pulled the plug on too quickly, or what were some of the things I put into play too quickly that I didn't really take the time to have a well thought out plan, well thought out strategy. Because there are some things that work, but when you're in the hustle bustle, you can't see it. Take the summer to do that. You know, the days are longer, the weather is great, and people are more social, and you can take this time to catch up on reality of life and make things happen for you and your business.
I love that. Summer is also a great time to, especially if your kids are out of school. I know some kids are year round, but really having those moments in, I love when I work with people, and I always tell them is make sure that you are not letting go of the things that you're working so hard for. So a lot of times when you meet with different owners or people that are running corporations, is what do you value? Time with my family and like myself and my goals. And you're like, oh, that's amazing. And then you look at them and they're going through a divorce. Their kids are all crazy and they're overweight and stressed. So they're working really, really hard because someday they're going to get there, then work on everything. But if they're going so fast, they didn't take the time to be like, wait, the things that I'm working towards are here now. My health is here now. Mm-hmm. My kids are staring at me now. You know, my spouse is waiting for me to come to dinner now. But really taking that, I hate the word balance too, but balancing some of your time, especially during the summer with the nights being longer, to be able to have quality time in the areas that you're working so hard for without it taking over. And then you're in that frustration cycle of, I should have done more, I could have done more. And then now you're beating yourself up instead of just in the moments being where you are in those moments. I'm at dinner, but there's enough light outside that I could take a walk and still come in and hit some of the books before I go to bed. But that all comes with being intentional. And so being intentional of your time during the summer, because it'll go like that. And it's going to be August and we're going to be hustle and bustle and back to work and we have a whole series on that too when August hits, right, on how to get back into the swing of things, because these next 2 months are going to fly faster than the entire year.
That's right. And, you know, I love that, because knowing that time is going to pass, regardless if we do what we say we're going to do and what we want to do and what we need to do, it's going to pass. And so let's be strategic in how we use that time during the summer. And you said you hate the word balance. And to my head, something came to mind. Let's structure the time. And one of the things you can do in structuring is create your summer strategy, your summer
routine,
your summer. Yes, create that thing and start today. Go ahead and identify what you want to work on. What do you want to focus on? Maybe there's 2 or 3 things in your business you know that you need to tighten up. It's almost like working out, tight and tone. What are those things you need to tighten up so that your business can go forward? And when you have that structure, whether you say the morning, for me, my protected time is 6 to 9 a.m. No one gets in and I don't get out. Okay. I stay in the vault. And the same thing for you, decide what that is. Your kiddos who are now out for school, some of them may be sleeping a little bit later. Mine is. He will sleep until noon if I allow him, but I don't. But keep in mind, use your time around that and say, okay, from 1 to 3 or 4 to 7, I'm going to work on calls. I'm going to work on the system. I'm going to work on building something, whatever that is, but create a structure for yourself so your summer is sizzling and hot.
Even though they complain, and I worked with children for over 21 years, is summer camps, kids love them, whether it's a day camp or a play date where they can have activity. They are bored. It is hard for them to self-soothe. And a lot of our kids are used to the technology.
That's right.
It just is what it is. And it was funny because I saw a thing that said boomers complain that, like if you just give the kids the tablets and back in our day, we spent time. And then it said, really, Mom? I remember being thrown out of the house during the summer at 7 or 8 a.m. and told come back when the street lights are on.
Yes.
Outside entertaining yourselves. What it really is looking in your areas at the local resources. And the great part is if the more that your kids are in activities, the more people you might get to be around and the more relationships you might get to build.
That's so true. It's so funny because my son is currently signed up for 4, and I know that may be over the top, but 4 summer camps. One, he got accepted into an investment in wealth camp at the university. So excited on that one. The second one, he is going to a gaming camp. So that's all fun, right?
He must be super excited. That's his passion. You got, win-win. He gets to go to a camp and not fight with you about having a summer and not wanting to feel so structured.
Exactly.
And you get to have him in a structured time during the summer where he's not sleeping all day and pissed off.
That's right. And then we have whitewater rafting. It's not a camp, but it's camping for 3-4 days. We'll be camping, doing that next week. And then the other one is he's doing church camp for a week. No, not 4 days. And then one last one, he has an art camp. So that's 5. I'm sorry. So that way it's things he loves, but things that help him develop and grow and become a better version of himself.
It's a win-win. He wants to own his own business and do gaming. So you have him in a business related and he gets to do the gaming. And then there's still some stuff in there. And here's the thing, folks, your kids will complain because they're kids and they don't know. And they'll complain all the way up until you get them there. And then they're not going to want to leave.
Yep.
We were kids once, and I don't want to go. And then you go, it's time to go, but I don't want to leave. So just do it. Just have them do some activities. They're going to pretend to hate it. And then they're going to make amazing memories and love it.
And, we're just like kids. I mean, honestly, think about it. A lot of times there's things we don't want to do. And I always tell people, give yourself 15 minutes. If you don't want to do it, put your shoes on, get on that phone, make those calls. And in 15 minutes, if you're not feeling amazing and you haven't changed the world, then you have permission to stop. But you have to start because, again, it's the start that stops most people. And in fact, my son had a culminating event for a mentorship program he's in. And yesterday, one of the boys shared that he started this when he was in 6th grade. And he said, I did it because my mother signed up. I hated it. It was the worst. He just graduated last Thursday and he talked about the brotherhood, the community, the growth, the better speaker that he is, the more he can interact and talk and engage with people. And that's how it is. We start with this kicking, biting and screaming. I don't want to do it. I don't want any parts of it. And that's because we don't see the other side. We don't see what's coming and what's in store for us, right? This thing is not designed to hurt you, but to help you. And that's the same thing with you and your business. Do the thing you hate to do first. so you can get it out the way, because in the end, you'll see the fruits of your labor.
Mm.
I believe that.
That's huge.
Yeah, I
We are
believe.
like children.
I know we are.
And you just dropped, I hope everyone wrote that down. I know I did, the 15-minute strategy. Do something, tell yourself I can at least do it for 15, and then if I'll quit it if I don't want to. Well, I'll stop it. Don't say quit. If you start and you agree for 15, you do it for 15, subconsciously you're going to be building more strength in
That's
your
right.
inner self than feeling guilty later about what you could have, should have, would have done.
Yep.
Very
The
great
momentum
strategy.
happens, you know, and I think about this, that momentum kicks in. The happy hormones kick in 15 minutes, you know, and that's in anything. And I find it to be true, especially exercise. You get out, release up, hit the pavement, you start walking in 15 minutes, most cases, you're feeling amazing now. Went out last night and I was like, oh, I'll just take the dog for a quick walk around the block. Before I knew it, I was an hour in, because it was beautiful. I was feeling amazing and it was a great day. And the same thing when I was in sales and early in my career, making those prospecting calls. When you got, all you need is one yes to build that momentum and keep you going, friends. All you need is one person after you sent out that email marketing, create it, build it, send it out. One person respond, one person open. It's going to create that fire. 15 minutes will change your world. I got a book coming out about that.
Price of admission for strategy. Add the 15-minute strategy to your summer days.
Yep.
And I'm going to tell you, in 1 month, I'm going to tell you how the 15-minute strategy impacted the companies I'm working in and with.
That's it. I think of it as your time block. You know, I use it even for laundry. 15 minutes, laundry on the bed, boom, go. What can I get done in 15 minutes? And let me say this, in many cases, I have probably about 95% of it done. And so now I'm like, okay, 15-minute clock, finish the last two and you're done. So we have to shift the way we think. And as you go into the summer, if all you have is 15 minutes here, 15 minutes there, 15 minutes, those 15 minutes adds up to an hour and 2 hours. Structure your time, structure your schedule so that you can really have a super amazing summer.
You know what you just did for me?
What's that?
You redefined how I'm going to look at the things I don't want to do.
Woohoo, which is step number 2 in action. Tell me about it. What did it do for you, Misty?
Instead of looking at the mountain, I look at the thing that's not so overwhelming, which is the 15 minutes. So it is redefining those things. I always look at too when we're in reflect is, what are the things you keep pushing off? There's a reason for it. We do the things we love to do when we procrastinate or push off the things that maybe we're not so connected with. But some of those we just need to redefine why we're doing it. And what you did with calls, instead of being overwhelmed, oh, I have 30 calls to make. It could look like, how many can I get done in 15 minutes? Mm-hmm. Or like you just said too, is okay, out of the 30, if 4 say yes, my business is now impacting 4 new people because I reached out.
That's right.
So it's just redefining sometimes your why or your what, or your, as we talked about in the other show, even your who. Yes. There's lots of groups out there, and I know we've done it a few times, and it's worked for us, is we just Zoom, but we're Zooming one another and we turn off our mics and then we're doing our work and then we're checking in. Okay, did your last project go good? Okay, good. Now move on, because then it feels like you have that support.
That's right. The support, the accountability,
yes,
you know, the motivation to keep you going. I say it all the time. We can't always be accountable to ourselves. Even though we know motivation is an inside job, sometimes we're in a low place and we need somebody to come alongside us, to lock arms with us and say, hey, I got you. I'm going with you. Let's do this. And that's the power of reflecting and redefining your business, because once you recognize that, you're able to make big leaps. Now, it wasn't starting as a big leap. It might have just started with one step, but when you get those things in place, you're then able to make the big leaps to bring your business to that next place.
Which is crazy, because with reflection and redefinition, you're going to hit the 3rd step automatically just in your self-talk, and that is re-engaging.
That's right.
And when you reflect on something and change on how you want to do it, or just give yourself kudos for it being really great, and then redefine some of the things and redefine maybe where you're a little slower at, you can re-engage into everything you need to this summer.
That's right. And summer is such a great time to think about this. And this is going to vary per business and company. Here's what I know. Not every company slows down during the summer. If you are in an organization or you're building a business that maybe, production, sales, all that stuff is slower, use the summer months, as we've been talking about, to rebuild, to redefine, to reflect, but to re-engage. Maybe consider meeting in person with some of your prospects or some of your existing customers. Remember, summer is social and people like to get out. They look to get out and, it's a time to catch up on FaceTime with contacts, colleagues, and prospects. And what I find is that the options are endless because not everyone is working such a structured schedule. Grab an iced tea, go for a walk. I love in my business, I do walks and talks all the time because I incorporate the physical with the mental, with the educational. I pull it all together in one element. People grow more, people minds are more open in a walking, creative, movement-based state. So think about how can you meet someone in person? During this summertime, that's going to give you an opportunity to re-engage. Another one I think about is hosting a party. Everyone loves a great party. Celebrate summer by hosting a party in your organization. And I don't want to give you all the strategies, but just some things I think about the summer being social. And how do you re-engage with your client? Giving them some summer ideas or helping them realize how they can shift what they're doing during the summer. Maybe that's that summer email. I'm already excited about the wellness side, summer recipes, summer slowdown, nice, but still moving. These are things we can do to re-engage our customer, to re-engage ourselves and re-engage our business.
I got another strategy for that when you're throwing a party. Have a party where people could bring kids.
Yes.
So then the kids are engaged into something and then you could still build relationships.
Yes.
Sometimes that first level is just creating that relationship.
Absolutely.
And having the things where they don't have to worry about what I'm gonna do with the kids, but like, okay, I could bring the kids. And some of your kids are at that age, they don't care, don't want to go anyway, but.
But I love that, Misty, because now it says you're more than just a customer to me. Your family matters to me. And by inviting their family, whether it be their spouses and their children, you now just opened up the door in another way. And now they see you differently. Not only are you you're their client or they're in your business, now they see you as a person because they're going to connect with you on a different level. That's huge. I love
and
it.
Even past customers. I was having a conversation, I think it was in our accountability group last week, and one of the ladies had said that, I used to take it personally when someone left she's a chiropractor. So when someone didn't want my chiropractor, I'm like, oh, is it me? Is it the price? Is like, my head would just go crazy. And then I realized they're always my customers. Once we're working with me, you'll always be a client and I'll always care about your health. And she said a lady from 4 years ago called her and it was like, I'm financially able to work with you again. And I'm so excited.
That's it.
And it hit too is like during this time, you re-engage people. We don't know why people leave us, but if we don't personalize it, we're going to be less emotional to reach out and be like, oh, we could just be like, hey, how are you? How are the things in your life right now? Because maybe it just wasn't that time they were not ready to enroll in something else that maybe you were doing, but it's that re-engaging them to help them. We've all changed in the last few years, right?
Yes.
And not looking at them as someone that doesn't want to work with you because they worked with you one time and have left, but maybe someone that might be ready again to re-engage with you.
Which, as you were saying that, I instantly thought about something that I did yesterday. And this is a bonus, folks. This is a bonus. This wasn't planned, but it just came out and it falls right in line with our reflect, redefine, re-engage, and reactivate. Reactivate. Think about now is a great time to build your reactivation strategy. Yesterday, after all of my busyness, I had a few old clients or current clients, they're not actively working with me, send messages. And I gave them a reactivation pricing because they have been in my family. They have been involved in my business.
Nice.
So I developed and I created my reactivation. I have a reactivation strategy. And now is a great time in the summer months when people are low and they're not as busy. Maybe depending on your product or service, consider a reactivation campaign. This is the time, whether you implement it now during the summer or you kick it off in the fall, this is going to bring those old customers back and increase your overall bottom line. Big deal. Thanks, Misty, for triggering that in my head. And I just did it yesterday and I gave them the code reactivate as a discount code to help them get started on a new program I just rolled out. So
I love that. Huge.
Huge.
So we don't just talk about the things that we talk about. We do the things and then we bring them here. And then we love when you're able to share with us what's working. And we're getting people reaching out to us and loving some of the things in the podcast that they're utilizing in their business and telling us how it works. So we're super excited. We love when you guys do that. And we want you to know that we don't just read books and give you strategies, but we're actively building our businesses. And these are the things that we're finding successful.
That's right. We don't just talk the talk, we walk the walk here at Made to Inspire. And we're super excited that we can pour into you week after week. And so we're doing something really fun. We're doing some summer assessments because we know that this is a time for you to assess your business. Again, reflect, redefine, re-engage, and reactivate. So think about if you're interested in a summer assessment, a summer review, so we can help you get your business back in gear and ready for things in the fall. Do send us a message. Do send us any information. You'll see it on the show notes where you can actively contact us so that you can get moving. But like we say every single week, we strongly and firmly believe that there is something out there waiting for you.
Now go get it.